Presentation by the Bureau of Land Management regarding recent BLM activities in the Gold Butte area and other matters properly related thereto. We do have a public comment on it, but you can start out, Mr. Baker.
Mayor, members of the council, Aaron Baker. The Bureau of Land Management has requested the opportunity to present to you this evening. They are here. Gail Marsh-Smith is here with two of her staffers as well. They'd like to address some of the activities they have going on currently in the Gold Butte area.
Thank you for that.
Good evening, council members. Mayor Littman, thank you so much for having me on your agenda. I'm just going to give you a briefing of activities in Gold Butte and be able to take any questions that you have. So, as you know, in spring of 2014, with the cattle gather and the aftermath of that, the BLM was not able to get back into Gold Butte to do management because of safety concerns. So that was a long 2 years for my office. A few months ago, members of our leadership, State Director, and Commissioner Kirkpatrick from District B got together with Sheriff Lombardo and Assistant Sheriff Tom Roberts to talk about a strategy for BLM to become re-engaged in the management of Gold Butte. And the purpose of that meeting was to get their ideas, to get their assistance, help us to reconnect with communities. So we haven't been out here in a long time. And those meetings were very productive. They were very amenable to working with us and to providing us input as to how to make those connections. Our goal really is to enter into the Gold Butte area and do management by the front door. We want to be straightforward, we want to be transparent in what we're doing, and we want to work closely with the community, make sure that they know what we're doing as well. The following day, we met with local Metro officers with the Northeast unit, and we had similar conversations. We met with Sergeant Impey and others with Metro and had the same kind of conversations. We want to ask assistance, we want to work with the community, we want to re-engage in management activities in Gold Butte. The summer is a good time to have this outreach. It's really hot out there. We wouldn't have a lot of management going on with our specialists, but we are behind with a few projects, so we want to get those jump started again. And so our outreach to the community is our priority for this summer. In early June, we made a trip to Gold Butte with our national director, Director Hornsey. We also had Commissioner Kirkpatrick with us on that trip, as well as members of Metro. And it was a good trip. We went down to Whitney Pockets, we went down to the Falling Man area, and it was like a homecoming for us to get back down into the Gold Butte area. Like I said, our messages are to come in through the front door and to work with our community partners. And this summer has been a big outreach effort. By the end of this week, we will have met with all of the town advisory boards. We met with Moapa a couple of weeks ago. Tomorrow we're going to be meeting with the Moapa Valley Town Advisory Board, and then Thursday with Bunker Bell. We've also met with the Moapa Band of Paiutes. We've met with some of the community organizations such as Partners in Conservation and with the Friends of Gold Butte. We visited with the Moapa Band of Paiutes and with Congressman Hardy. Personally, we had a good visit with him, as well as updating Senator Reid's staff. Our three goals in getting back out into Gold Butte are three major activities. Those are regular land management, such as recreation, land use authorizations, cultural resource management, recreation management, public health and safety, making sure that people are safe out there, that we have radio communication for our fire personnel, for Metro, and for any other law enforcement in the area. And then public outreach, because it's a big area and we're going to need the community to assist us and to help us with some of those management activities. And members really have stepped up in the last couple of years. We've had partners in conservation out and sort of being our eyes and ears out there, helping us to understand what was going on. And Friends of Gold Butte have been phenomenal partners. So we want to continue those partnerships. So let me give you just an update of some of the things that we have done so far. The Virgin Peak repeater have been not functioning for most of those 2 years. That repeater is now functioning, so that's a radio repeater that can be used by both BLM, Metro, and Fire. Land use authorizations, like I said, we've gotten behind on those, and particularly with the rural utility companies, we need to catch up. And so we're working very closely with the Virgin Valley Water District, with the Rio Virgin Telephone Company. Though that one in particular is of a high priority. There's a fiber optic line, about a 3-mile fiber optic line coming up the Gold Butte Road from Meadowland Farms. They have an application with us that we're processing, and once we get that application completed and the right-of-way granted, and they get that facility constructed, that will increase the internet access into that area. So that's important to the community. So we're making that a high priority. Road maintenance is a big issue. That was communicated to us by several members of the public. Clark County, I have to give kudos to them. They've done a phenomenal job. Terry Berkland from Public Works has been out there grading the roads and keeping them maintained. We really appreciate that, and we've reached out to Clark County Public Works to help to share that road maintenance activity with them, so we don't duplicate each other's actions, and that we can most efficiently use our resources. Fire rehabilitation, there are still areas in Gold Butte that have not recovered from the 2005 and 2006 fires out there. There's still a lot of non-native grasses out there that are flashy in nature, and if we ever do get a dry lightning out here, that area will burn again. So we'd like to get a fire rehabilitation project on the ground, at least started in October of this year, and what that involves is applying a pre-emergent herbicide that would target those non-native grass species, and then reseed and plant back with native vegetation. So it's really creating a green strip that would increase the resiliency of the desert in Gold Butte. We also need to get out this fall and do our route designation monitoring, make sure that the signs are in the places where they need to be, do maintenance on the Gold Butte Backcountry Byway, from the different storm events that have happened. So we want to get out this fall when it gets a little cooler to do that. And then finally, we have a project that we have proposed through the Southern Nevada Public Lands Management Act. It's under the category of conservation initiatives. We call it the Protecting Gold Butte's Cultural Heritage Project. It hasn't been approved. It's still working its way through the review and approval process, but we're hopeful that we get that project funded. What that will do is it takes a rather large area around Whitney Pockets and the cultural complex sites around it, and it will restore disturbances, it will interpret cultural resources, it will analyze areas for future facilities such as bathrooms and camping areas, and it will really work to get that area better managed in the future. One of the unique features about that project is that we plan on having a cultural liaison from the Moepa Band of Paiutes that will work with us to do outreach and government-to-government tribal consultation with other tribes that have an interest in that area. So we hope to hear something positive, but we hope to hear something one way or another this fall. And we would, if we are successful, we will be planning to start that in the spring. So it has a pretty aggressive timeline. We know that it's going to take lots and lots of coordination, cooperation, and meetings with our local partners. We are prepared to do that. I've been in front of you before, and I will be in front of you again, giving you updates. We know that there's probably a lot of questions in the community, and what we'd like to do is, and we were very graciously provided a host site, which is this council chamber, on September the 7th to have a sort of open house panel discussion. So when we get more information, we will provide that to the community and to the council. But the idea is to have a session where the community can come and ask questions of management and staff and have a dialogue. So with that, I would be happy to take questions.
Questions from council? I don't see any. I do have a public comment from an individual. I think we could address that now.
Thank you, Mayor Littman. My name is Jane Ramone, and I'm the Executive Director of the Friends of Gold Butte. Thank you to the members of the Mesquite City Council for hearing my comment. The beauty and wonder that can be found in the wide open spaces of Gold Butte attracted me to this area. And in that time that I've been working for Gold Butte, I have also learned a great deal about the people who have lived there in the past and also the people who live here now. And there is one common sentiment about Gold Butte that I find among everyone that I meet, and that is that it is a special place to everyone. Everyone appreciates the value of Gold Butte. Many people celebrate heritage in Gold Butte. A recent example is the LDS Desert Trek that happened in June this year, where 190 children spent 4 days and 3 nights trekking over the Virgin Mountains as a reenactment of the journeys of early pioneer settlers. It was a connection to their heritage. I was equally moved by the Culture Walk in April this year, where over 80 people from Southern Nevada Paiute tribes and their supporters came together to walk 11 miles in Gold Butte, and at the end, they connected to the land with song and dance. We connect with Gold Butte because it tells the story of how humans have connected with that space of land over time, and it resonates with all of us. The BLM is part of that human story too. They are the land management agency in charge of the land. Many of their staff over many years have spent intimate time out on this landscape, studying, monitoring, patrolling, educating, restoring, appreciating. That deep knowledge of the land has been enfolded within the agency's record. And Friends of Gold Butte, as Friends of Gold Butte, we wanted to come here tonight to express our appreciation of the BLM for their research, for their knowledge and stewardship of this area. We are happy to report that the Friends of Gold Butte recently signed a memorandum of understanding with the BLM, which formalizes our partnership with the agency. We believe that the stewardship of our public lands is a community responsibility. We are excited about the collective dedication to the stewardship of Gold Butte and for what we can all achieve together. So thank you for this time to speak to you.
Thank you. If there are no questions,